Alright guys, today we're going to go over our study guide. So, do not watch this video until you have already gone through and done this study guide once on your own. Can't stress that enough. Do not watch this until you have already done this. It's not going to help you otherwise. So, let's just go ahead and go through this. It'll say at the end of your quiz which questions you got right and wrong. Write down which ones you got wrong, and then go through and skip around in this video and look for the problem that you missed, and see if you did something different than what I do. Okay? Let's go ahead and go over this. So number one, what value of x makes this equation true? So we're going to be solving an equation. For starters, we're going to have to combine our like terms, so I'm going to combine those two first. Negative 7x minus 3x, that gives me negative 10x for now. Plus 4, and the right side I haven't done anything yet. Negative 2 minus 12. Oh, that's negative 2x minus 12. So you can do this however you want. I'm going to add 10 to both sides, or add 10x to both sides. And here's what that's going to do. It's going to leave me with 4 over here, and that negative 2 plus 10 gives me a positive 8x. And I've got minus 12. I'm then going to add 12 to both sides of the equation. That's going to cancel that out. And that gives me 16 equals 8x. Divide both sides by 8. I mean, 16 divided by 8, you can sort that one out. The answer should have been 2 for number 1. Let's go ahead and move on to number 2, which is, I'll scroll down far enough so I don't have to scroll past number 3 either. So number 2, what is the value of x for this equation? So this one has some distributive property going on. We have negative 2.4, and that's going to be distributed to 3x and 4. So we've got negative 2.4 times 3. Lucky for us, this is calculator active, so we can double check. Negative 2.4 times 3, that is going to give me negative 7.2. So we can go ahead and write that down. This one is negative 7.2, which actually, let me write this over here since I almost ran out of room last time. Negative 7.2x, and we know the next one's going to become negative because we're multiplying a positive times a negative. This next one is negative 2.4 times 4, and that's going to give me negative 9.6. And that's it for the left-hand side. The right-hand side, we don't need to do anything. That is just going to be negative 5.1x plus 9.3. I'm going to go ahead and add 7.2x to both sides of the equation. That's going to cancel out on that side, leaving me with only negative 9.6 on this side. And when I do negative 5.1 plus 7.2, that leaves me with, I believe that's 2.1x plus 9.3. I'm then going to subtract both sides by 9.3. 9.3. So this one's actually going to become larger. It's going to become a negative 18.9 equals 2.1x. At this stage, I divide both sides by 2.1. And I can use a calculator to assist me on this, but I can tell you it's going to be about negative 9.4, if I had to guess, looking at that. Let's see. Negative 18.9 divided by 2.1. Oh, negative 9 even. Yeah, okay. Negative 9 even. Which, that's an answer choice. That works. Let's go ahead and move on to another problem. I'll switch colors because I'm not going to erase that one yet. For this one, it asks which value of x makes this equation true. We're going to start by simplifying because we have to combine some stuff on the left-hand side. We have a negative x and a positive 12x. Well, that's going to become a positive 11x. So we have 12 plus 11x equals negative 21 plus 8x. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and subtract by 8x on both sides. And that's going to leave me with 12 plus, that would be 3x on this side, equals negative 21. I'm then going to subtract by 12 on each side of the equation. Let's see, this will give me a 3x over here equals negative 33 over here. Divide both of these by 3, and you get x equals a negative 11. Right here, option A. Perfect. And that's going to be it for number 2 and number 3. Let me erase all of that. Did I remember to enter my answer for this one? I didn't. What did I say the answer for that one was? I think I said negative 2. I'll have to go back and check. But number 4, it says which solution is the answer to the equation 6x plus 3x. I already kind of see a problem with this one. We'll see if I'm right. I feel like there's a problem with this. Because this one we've got... Nope, there's not a problem. Never mind. When I combine those, I get 9x equals negative 9x minus 54. So in this case, I'll add 9x to both sides of the equation. Add 9x. And that's going to give me 18x equals negative 54. If I divide negative 54 by 18, I should get negative 3 for number 4. I was thinking perhaps it might be no solution, but no, I'm glad I worked it out. I'm glad I didn't just try to guess through that. Let's move on to number 5. For number 5, what value of x makes the equation 4x minus 9x plus 15 equal negative 2x plus 3 true? Alright, so for starters, we'll have to combine that, which unfortunately is going to result in a negative. 4x minus 9x gives me negative 5x. And we still have the plus 15 equals, in the right side, we have negative 2x plus 3. Alright, so in this case, I'm going to add both sides by 5x. Add 5x, and that's going to neutralize that and make this a positive. So that gives me a 15 equals, that's positive 3x now, plus 3. We then subtract 3 from both sides of the equation, which gives me 12 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3, and we are left with y equals positive 4. That's what we get for number 5. Let's go ahead and bubble those in. And now let's see. Alright, so number 6, we've got 10k minus 16 equals 5 2k plus 4. Alright, so for this I have to do some distributive property first. Distribute that, and I get, let's see, we have on the left side 10k minus 16 equals 5 times 2k gives me 10k. And 5 times 4 gives me 20. You should see something concerning happening right now. We have a positive 10k on both sides of this equation. When I subtract 10k from both sides, is my problem going to make sense? Negative 16 equals 20. If it made sense, if I had something like negative 16 equals negative 16, that makes sense. That means there's an infinite solutions. Nothing, no matter what I put for k, it's going to work. In this case, because there's no way to make that true, there is no solution. Negative 16 does not equal 20. Therefore, this is a broken equation. There's no solution. Number 7, what is the solution for this monstrosity of a equation? For starters, we'll have to do some distributive property on both sides this time. So starting from the left, Let's see, we're going to have 7x, and that's negative 3 times x, that is minus 3x. Negative 3 times negative 8, that is now a positive 24. And then for the right side, we have 1 half times 8x. Well, half of 8 is just going to be 4, so 4x. And half of positive 6, so that is now positive 3. We then still have to combine some things, because the left side isn't ready yet. We have to combine 7x and 3x. And that's going to give me 4x plus 24 equals 4x plus 3. Again, we have another situation where something isn't adding up. When I subtract 4x from both sides, will my equation still make sense? If that goes away, will 24 equal 3? No. No, it will not. There is no solution to number 7. Nothing we do, nothing we can put in for x will ever work for this equation. So, there is no solution. Moving on to number 8. This one is solving systems of equations. So, we've got these two equations right here. I wonder if I can copy and paste those into text. I can. Excellent. So I'm going to copy and paste those into text, and I'm going to also, let me see about maybe, can I move that out of the way? No, I cannot. That's okay. I can put it over here. There we go. So I've plotted that. Let me go ahead and get my settings ready. Show grid. Major lines only, I think is what I want. There we go. So for starters, we have a line that is at 2x minus 9. Okay, so minus 9, that's my y-intercept. 2x, that would be 2 over 1. So rise is 2, run is 1. 1, 2, 1. So that's my first line. That's the top one. Bottom line is at, let's see, plus 3. So it's going to intercept here. And negative x. So that is negative 1 over 1. So we're going to go 1 over, 1 down. Like that. And my answer to this one is going to cross at 4, negative 1. That's my answer. My answer to this one is 4, negative 1. Okay? Let's go ahead and move on to number 9. Number 9, here are my two equations. We'll go ahead and copy and paste these. Let me clear these out of the way. Oh, I guess I have to undo a bunch. Whoops, there we go. So my two lines are going to be located at those coordinates now. Okay? So we have one that starts at negative 1, and the slope is 2x, so that means 2 up, 1 over. Right there. And my second equation starts at y equals positive 2, and it is minus x, so it's going to go 1 over, 1 down. And my solution is at 1, 1. So, oh, it even asked, what is the x value? So it didn't want both parts of the equation. It just wants to know what's the x value, which in this case, it's 1. 1 is what matches up. There we go. Let's see now. How about number 10? For number 10, systems of equations again, but this time I can't copy and paste it. It looks like it's just y equals 1 half x. One of them is at positive 1, one is at negative 1. So let's see what happens when I do this. So one of them starts at positive 1, and its slope is 1 half, 1 over 2. So that means my rise is 1, and my run is 2, 1, 2. The other line starts at negative 1 and has the same slope. It goes 1 up and 2 over. So let's scroll out and see that these two lines will never ever cross. They are perfectly parallel. They will go on and on and on and on and never cross. What does that mean for our solution? Is there a solution? Is there a place that these two will cross? No. There is no solution. These two lines will never intersect. Therefore, there is no solution that will work for both of them. For number, and by the way, here's a hint. When you see the same slope, warning sign. It might not have a solution. For number 11, we've got these two. I can copy these, and I can paste them here so I don't have to go back and forth. There. Let's go ahead and clear this board. Whoops. So our first line is it starts y-intercept at +1, and the slope is 2x, so 2 up, 1 over. The second line starts at -3. Its slope is 3x, so it will go up 3 and over 1. So we can't see the intercept, but we know that it's going to happen over here. Whoops, didn't mean to draw that. Click on the move button and drag over here to see exactly where it crosses. Looks like it's crossing at 9, 4, so 4, 9 would be my coordinates. And there it is, 4, 9. Perfect. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, number 12. We have y equals -1/3 x plus 4, and y equals +1/3 x. Okay, so we'll start with the first one then, because I'm not going to be able to memorize both of those. First one is going to be located at -1/3 x plus 4. So plus 4, and that's -1/3 x. That means -1 is going to be going down, but that'll also go 3 over. 1, 2, 3. So that's my first one. My second coordinate, was it just +1/3 x? Yes. So there is no y-intercept. That means I'm going to start at 0. Not going to cross anything other than 0. And I will go the opposite of the last one. I will go up by 1 and over by 3, which puts my intercept at 6, 2. 6, 2. For number 13, kind of similar. This one, it's got 1/2 x plus 6 for the first one. Okay, so 1/2, 6. So we're crossing at +6, and since my slope is 1/2, I'm going to go over 1. No, I'm going to go up by 1 and then over 2. Even I almost just made a mistake with slope. Right there. My second line is at 2x. So it's going to start at 0, and it's going to go up by 2 and over by 1. 2 over 1. And we can see the intersect just barely without zooming out. It's going to be at 4, 8 is my answer. 4, 8. Now, number 4 is a little bit difficult. Now, keep in mind, there is only one of these types of questions on the study guide. You can expect there will only be one like this on the test tomorrow. So don't panic too much about this right now, okay? It's still totally possible to get a 90-something, even if you get a question like this wrong. So don't panic, but if you're a completionist who really, really wants a 100, watch out for this. It says, Jane and Chris sell candles to earn money. Jane spent $20 to create her candles and sells them for $3 each. Chris spent $40 and sells his candles at $5 each. So think about what that means when you're thinking of how to create an equation. For Jane, we've got, it costs her $20. Well, that's going to be a -20. And she sells them for $3 each. Well, that's $3 times the number of candles. And then for Chris, we've got, I shouldn't be using C and J because now it's going to get confused. Well, for Chris, he spent $40. So that's -40. And he sells them for $5 each. So $5 each. So here are our equations. We have one of them, which I'm going to go ahead and rewrite them with x and y because, well, it's just a little confusing with two different kinds of things. So we've got y, x. There we go. So once you have this, you can actually set this up in one of these graphs, which is what we're going to do. We do have to zoom out so we can see the 20 and the 40. But we can do this. Whoops. So let me zoom out a little bit. And let me move down to where the 40 is. So for the first one, we've got 40. And he sells them for 5 each. That means I'm going to go 5 up, but only 1 over. So I'm going to try to zoom in here. So 5 higher than 40 would be here. And then 1 over would be here. So that's my first point. This is going to be Chris's line. For Jane's line, she starts at 20. Okay? And she sells them for 3 each. So that means she's going to go up by 3 and over by 1. So 20, 19, 18, 17, and over by 1. Can't quite see the 1. Let me zoom in. Here we go. There's the 1. So let's zoom out and move around and see where they cross. It's going to take a minute, but we can find it. Let's see. So how many of each candle do they need to sell? It looks like it's going to cross at coordinate 10, 10 for this one. So my answer is going to be they need to sell 10 candles each, and they will each be earning $10 at that point. That's going to be number 14. Again, keep in mind there is only going to be one type of question like that on the test tomorrow, and I don't believe it has numbers that are that big. You won't have to do as much zooming in as I did. And last but not least, number 15, system of equations again. I'm going to copy and paste these so I don't have to look too hard. But you should see they have the same slope, so already a warning sign should be going up in your head. Alright, let me move a little bit closer back to the center of my graph, so that way I can actually see everything. There we go. Alright, let me get rid of all of my coordinates. Have I got rid of them all? I think I have. No, I have not. There, now I must have. So my first set of coordinates are going to involve crossing at y equals -6, and it's going to go up by 4, and it's going to go over by 1. Second one is at +10, so let me move up a bit. So my next one is at +10, and it's same thing, same slope. It goes up by 4 and over by 1. And if you zoom out and double check, you will see, like I said, if they have the same slope, they're parallel. They're going to follow each other and never cross. Therefore, there is no solution, there is no answer that will work for both equations. And that's it for the study guide. I'm probably not going to require you to do all 15 problems. I'll probably tell you something like pick 12 and pick 3 questions to skip, something like that. Because this is rather long, and it took me 25 minutes, so it might take you a rather long time. We'll see what happens. I'll probably do something along those lines where, if it's taking you a long time, I'll tell you to pick 12. But, at any rate, good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.